iPad lineup, something for everyone, or a confusing mess? Yesterday saw the launch of the all-new iPad 10, as well as updated versions of the 11-inch and 12.9-inch iPad Pro, which makes for a rather extensive iPad lineup. This could be viewed in two ways. Apple's argument would be that the company now offers a model for every need, while a certain Apple co-founder might have been found drawing a 2x2 grid about now current iPad lineup. With the latest changes, what is Apple's iPad lineup now? It's not even completely clear what order to list them in, but let's do it in price order and see what that gives us. iPad 9, $329. iPad 10, $449. iPad mini, $499. iPad Air, $599. 11-inch iPad Pro, $799. 12.9-inch iPad Pro, $1,099. Things could, of course, get even messier once we start considering different specs, but let's stick to the starter models. iPad 9. Things used to be simple here. If someone asked my advice, I'd ask some questions and typically point them to one of two extremes. If you just want an iPad for everyday needs, are happy with a small screen, and don't have a specific need for any of the Pro features, buy the base model, but with more storage. If you need one or more Pro features and/or want a large screen, and can afford it, buy the 12.9-inch iPad Pro. However, the launch of the iPad 10 makes the iPad 9 now look rather old-fashioned. iPad 10. If a more modern design is worth the extra cash, then this would be a logical choice. It's just a pretty big price jump for the prettier screen and some spec improvements that probably don't much matter to an entry-level iPad buyer. This is also the only model you can buy if you want the front-facing camera in the proper place. iPad mini. At $50 more than the iPad 10, you have to really want the compact size. That's literally the only reason it makes sense to buy this model. iPad Air. Here's where things start to get messy. Most 9 to 5 Mac readers will be familiar with the concept of spec creep. You start by looking at the base model of something, then tell yourself that for just $1 and more, you could have features X, Y, and Z. But if you're going to spend $1 and more, then for just $1 and plus you could move up to the next model and so on. So if someone has convinced themselves to spend an extra $110 for the iPad 10 rather than the iPad 9, then you have to start thinking about whether a further $150 bump for the iPad Air might make sense. Which it kind of does and doesn't. Okay, you're getting an M1 chip, but that's irrelevant for most usage. You're getting better accessory compatibility, which might be relevant if you want the Apple Pencil, 2nd Gen versus 1st Gen, or keyboard, choice of Magic Keyboard and Smart Keyboard Folio. The display is better, P3 rather than sRGB, and you also get anti-reflective coating, which is a small thing that can make a big difference. Is all that worth $150? Is worth almost twice as much as the iPad 9 we were looking at in the first place? Only you can decide. 11-inch iPad Pro. What about bumping ourselves up from the iPad Air to the 11-inch iPad Pro? This is where things probably get clearer. I'd say that the Pro features fall into the you'll know if you need them category. M2 chip over M1. Pro Motion. Ultra-wide cameras. Thunderbolt/USB 4. ProRes support. More storage options. If you're a typical consumer, and not super into video, you likely don't need any of that. Inch Pro. And back to a bit of messiness, because you might need the Pro features and want a bigger screen, or you might simply want a bigger screen. There's no equivalent of the iPhone 14 Plus in the iPad lineup, so if all you want is a bigger screen, you're going to have to pay for all the Pro features to get it. iPad 9, $329. Apple needs an entry-level model at this price. Also, if you're going to buy an iPad for your kids, it really doesn't make sense to pay more than this. iPad 10, $449. Many people will pay the premium for a more modern look. Over time, as production costs fall, the price will come down to the point where this becomes the $329-ish model. iPad mini, $499. Compact size is the only benefit, But if you want a small iPad, you want a small iPad. The iPad mini has also proven hugely successful in the enterprise world. Electronic notepads for wait staff, warehouse inventories, easy internet access for airline ground crew and cabin crew, you name it. iPad Air, $599. It would honestly make more sense if Apple could offer the better accessory compatibility and anti-reflective coating on the iPad 10, as these are really the only reasons why the average iPad user would consider the Air. If I were going to remove one model from the lineup, this would be it. 11-inch iPad Pro, $799. As discussed, Pro users will need one or more of the Pro features, and be happy to pay for them. 12.9-inch iPad Pro, $1,099. Ditto the features and/or the size. From a consumer perspective, and iPad 10 Plus would be a great option. iPad lineup, something for everyone, or a confusing mess. Yesterday saw the launch of the all-new iPad 10, as well as updated versions of the 11-inch and 12.9-inch iPad Pro, which makes for a rather extensive iPad lineup. This could be viewed in two ways. Apple's argument would be that the company now offers a model for every need, while a certain Apple co-founder might have been found drawing a 2x2 grid about now current iPad lineup. With the latest changes, what is Apple's iPad lineup now? It's not even completely clear what order to list them in, but let's do it in price order and see what that gives us. iPad 9, $329.